So you've got a brilliant business idea. Amazing. But then comes the big, scary question. How do you actually build it without risking everything you own? Well, today we're going to talk about the answers so many people land on, the Limited Liability Company, or LLC. Let's break down what this thing really is.
All right, to really get it, we first have to talk about the huge problem that every single founder faces. It's this constant tug of war between risk and reward.
I mean, think about it. You're ready to go, you're excited, but how do you protect your personal life, your house, your savings, from any business trouble? And just as important, how do you do that without getting buried in the kind of complicated rules and paperwork that come with a big corporation? For a long time, the choice was kind of terrible. On one side, you had the partnership. Super simple, very flexible, great for getting off the ground. But, and this is a huge but, there's zero separation between you and the business. If the company gets in trouble, so do you personally. Then on the other side, you've got the corporation. It gives you that ironclad protection you want, but the trade-off? It's a massive headache. We're talking strict rules, endless meetings, and tons of reporting. Not exactly ideal for a fast-moving startup.
And that is exactly where our hero of the story comes in. Let me introduce you to the LLC, the hybrid solution built to fix this exact problem.
So what is it really? An LLC is a business structure that literally cherry-picks the best parts of a partnership and a corporation. You get the incredible liability protection of a corporation, but you get to operate with the flexibility and the sweet tax advantages of a partnership.
And that's the whole magic of it, right there. It is truly designed to be the best of both worlds. You get that legal shield you need without all the operational chains. For so many modern entrepreneurs, it's an absolute game changer.
Okay, let's go a little deeper. The LLC basically has two main superpowers that make it so incredibly popular. And we can just call them the shield and the simplicity.
Superpower number one, the corporate shield. This is the whole limited liability part of the name. As an owner, they call you a member in an LLC, you're personally protected from the company's debts. This means if the business gets sued or can't pay its bills, your personal stuff, like your home and your car, are safe and sound. That is some serious peace of mind.
Its second superpower is this simplicity you'd find in a partnership. LLCs are just way more flexible. They don't have all the strict requirements for meetings and reports, and this is a big one, they have a huge tax advantage. Profits just pass right through to you, the owner. This helps you avoid something called double taxation, where a corporation's money gets taxed and then you get taxed again when you get paid. LLCs help you skip that whole mess.
Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this look like in the real world? Let's take a look at a quick example to see an LLC in its natural habitat.
Just imagine a small team of really talented software developers. They've poured everything into building this incredible new mobile app, and they're finally ready to launch it. Super exciting, right? But they're also smart enough to know there are risks. So let's trace their thinking. First, they've got a critical need. They have to protect themselves personally. What happens if the app has a major bug or they run into some legal trouble? Second, they've got a want. They want a business structure that's easy to run, lets them make decisions quickly, and splits up the profits without a bunch of red tape. So what's the one solution that checks both boxes? You got it. They register as an LLC.
And this story is not unique at all. LLCs are wildly popular with the exact people they were made for. Just look at the numbers. Startups and small to medium-sized businesses make up almost all LLCs. Why? Because it gives them that perfect mix of protection and flexibility that you need when you're growing.
So, after all that, we get to the most important question. Is this the right move for your business idea?
Now, it's important to be realistic here. The LLC is an amazing tool, but there's one thing to keep in mind. Depending on where you live, the setup fees and the annual cost for an LLC can be a bit higher than for a super simple structure like a sole proprietorship. It's a trade-off, really. You're paying a little more, but what you're buying is that powerful legal protection.
At the end of the day, it really just boils down to this simple idea. Choosing an LLC is about finding that perfect balance. It's about getting the serious protection you absolutely need to go out there and take risks, without drowning your new business in the kind of corporate complexity it just doesn't need.
So as you're mapping out your next world-changing idea, ask yourself this: what's the right shield to protect it? Understanding the LLC is a huge first step toward finding that answer and really setting yourself up for success. Thanks so much for tuning in.